Hello, welcome to my series of lectures on answering past exam type questions. I'm Dr Sergis from the Dr Sergis Academy, and today I'd like to focus on this particular question. A times x to the power of 6, all raised to the nth root, which means 1 over n, the root is 1 over n, equals 7x cubed. Now let's look at what a fractional power means. So if we say x is a number, raised to the power of a over b. So that's x to the power of a over b. So when you've got a fractional index, the numerator a represents the power to which the base, that is the number, is raised to. The denominator b represents the root. So x to the power of a over b, where we've got a fractional index, a over b. A is the numerator, which makes the power. So that's x to the power of a. B goes towards making the root. That's the b root of x to the power of 6. So if I said 8 to the power of 1 over 3, so here our a is 1, our b is 3, by comparing this generalization. So a is 1, the fractional index, b is 3. So remember the numerator makes the power, that's a to the power of 1, and denominator makes the root. So that reads x to the power of 1 over a third, a to the power of 1 over a third. In this case, our x is 8. So 8 to the power of 1 over a third means the cube root of 8, because the numerator 1 of the index, the fractional index, represents the power, and the denominator b is 3 here, by comparing the generalization, is the root. So that's the cube root of 8, which is 2. If we say 64 to the power of a half, right? So here, the fractional index of half, a represents a, 1 represents a, 2 represents b. So our a, the numerator of the fractional index, is 1, the denominator b is 2. Remember we said the numerator a represents the power to which the base is raised to. So that's 64 to the power of 1. The denominator, which is 2, represents the root. So that reads the square root of 64, which is 8. So therefore 64 to the power of a half is 8. So if we remember that, then we can actually relate that to the question. So a times x to the power of 6, all raised to the power of 1 over n. Okay? Now, when you've got a fractional index, you times the actual index outside the brackets. When you've got brackets and a fractional index, or indeed any index for that matter, outside the bracket, you multiply the index outside the bracket by every index of every base inside the bracket. So a means a to the power of 1. Okay, so any number can be raised to the power of 1. So like 6 is the same as 6 to the power of 1, for example. Okay? So we can multiply the index, which in this case is 1 over n, which is a root, as we said before, times every index within the bracket. So it'll be 1 times 1 over n is 1, which is 1 over n, because 1 times 1 over n is 1 over n. And then 6 times 1 over n is 6x to the power of 6 over n. And that's equal to 7x cubed. Yeah. Now, comparing like with like, comparing the terms to ensure that the left-hand side equals the right-hand side, because it's an equation. So we're looking at a to the power of 1 over n is 7, and x cubed must be equal to x to the power of 6 over n. Yeah? So if we look at x cubed equals 6 over n, yeah, x cubed equals 6 over n, just studying this for now. Yeah, so therefore if the left equals right, therefore 3 has to be equal to 6 over n, because the base x is the same on both sides. Therefore the index 3 must then be surely equal to 6 over n. Therefore by rearranging, multiply both sides by n, so as n times both sides by n, we get 3n equals 6, and divide both sides by 3, therefore n must be equal to 2. So n is 2. So if n equals 2, then if we look at the what a to the power of 1 over n from the expression must be equal to 7. So now what do we say about fraction index? It's the root. So because n equals 2, so that reads 1 over a to the power of 1 over 2, which is 7. And remember we said that a fraction index is a root. Remember the numerator of the fraction index represents the power, so that's a to the power of 1. Denominator 2 represents the root. So that reads the square root of a is 7. So if the square root of a is 7, therefore a surely has to be 49, as the square root of 49 is 7. So a is 49 and 2 is n. N equals 2 and a equals 49. Hope you enjoyed it.